also.
Thanks, Tucker.
Thanks a lot. Actually, I'll start with you, Mrs. Paul. You wrote, I thought, a very affecting piece in the Washington Examiner today about what you experienced last night. Can you tell us what it was like to be in the middle of the threats and the screaming?
It was absolutely terrifying. I have never experienced anything like that in my life. I hope no one else ever has to. We felt completely powerless. Before some of the video that I think you have shown where the police with the bikes were kind of creating a moving barricade for us, in the minutes before the police with the bikes showed up, we were completely encircled and surrounded, pressed up against two cops we were surrounded by people who were screaming in our faces, yelling that they were going to F us up, screaming, say her name. And at one point, at first I was trying to look in their eyes and trying to have any kind of reason or to see someone as a human being. And I realized they did not see us as human beings. We were Trump supporters, so they absolutely despised us. Even though if we were ever in a situation and maybe could have talked to some of those folks and they knew about Rand's background in criminal justice reform and the things that I've spoken out on, we could have had agreement. But in that moment, it was just like this bloodthirsty mob, and all I could think of was the man who was kicked in the head in Portland, a week ago, or the man whose jaw was broken, or 8-year-old Sequoia Turner. I really felt that we were going to lose our lives. I thought someone was going to throw a brick. I mean, it was the most terrifying moment of my entire life.
So given that, let me just ask quickly to you a follow-up, Mrs. Paul. Given that, the experience that you had, you just described it so vividly, what do you make of the news coverage of it? I've seen a couple of different accounts today that suggest it was not a big deal at all, that you're complaining for political reasons. NPR tonight described it as a peaceful protest. What do you make of that?
I'm furious. I am furious. I'm furious that Biden and Kamala Harris are not denouncing this. You tell me, if you are surrounded by a mob that will not let you move, that is screaming in your face, that is holding you completely hostage, and you cannot walk to your hotel and you are on a dark street, you tell me that's not violence. You tell me that is not an attack.
That's right.
There were times, Tucker, when they
go ahead, Senator.
It happened incredibly quickly. It's nearly 1 a.m. We have 2 blocks. We think we can make it 2 blocks. It looks clear. We make it 1 block, and right about the time we see these policemen, we go up. Just as we approach the policeman, the mob turns the corner, and they say, "We've got him. We've got Rand Paul. We've got him trapped." 30 people descend on us, but then 30 became 60, became 90, became 120, and it swelled. And we were in a pocket of Kelley and I and the 2 officers all touching each other in a very small pocket. They're completely surrounding us. They are pushing us. They are threatening to kill us, and they're yelling and screaming.
Closer and closer
and
to the
I
point
thought
where
we were going to be overrun. And so I looked to the policeman and I yelled in his ear. I said, "They know who I am. I'm in Congress." I don't think the policeman did know I was in Congress. And I said, "They know you need to call for reinforcement." And he's calling for reinforcement. But even though there were thousands of policemen, it seemed like forever to come. And we were there, but it was the pitch and the tenor of this is the invective. Everything is getting louder and louder and louder. And I thought they were going to be overrun. I mean, these police were brave, but there were 2 of them at first versus 120 people. If someone falls to the ground, that's when the mob becomes kicking and stomping people, and you're done for. But they came up. They were incredibly brave. The president has said this, and I'll say it again. They deserve our thanks, our praise. They deserve a medal, and I'll be there in the White House when the president gives them a medal for what they did, because I truly believe we would have been killed. The left says, "Oh, well, you weren't killed, so you weren't threatened." No, the police saved our lives because these thugs would have killed us. They would have stomped us and killed us. And these people don't live in D.C. either. There's evidence that's coming out that these people were paid and that they came to town at someone else's behest.
So why are we putting up with this? Why are we? I mean, this is the most heavily fortified city in the United States. It's the seat of our federal government. They don't own these streets. Most of them aren't even from there. Why have we tolerated this crap for 3 months? I'm serious. We don't need to put up with this. Why are we?
Well, look at where the problems are. Portland, Minneapolis, Washington, D.C., Chicago, and New York. What do they all have in common? Democrat mayors. Not just this time around, Democrat mayors for 50 years. And the thing is, the president put it very well in his speech last night. He said, if you want the country to be Portland, if you want the country to be on fire, put somebody in the White House who doesn't care about whether we have police or not. The police are brave and they are protecting us. Are there for reforms? You know me, Tucker. I'm for a lot of reforms for the police. I am for reforming them, but I never let myself forget that 99% of them or more are good people. They live amongst us. They go to our church. We see them in the grocery store. And if we want to make it out that they're all bad people, it's the same misnomer or the misrepresentation that they're saying, oh, all white people are racist. We actually have less racism and prejudice than we've ever had in my lifetime.
Of course.
We have been going in the right direction for so long. You look at corporate America, you look at universities, you look at intermarriage, you look at church integration. We have been going in the right direction. But now they're telling you that the world hates you and you might as well just break windows and take stuff instead of going to college and succeeding. It just boggles my mind where we're going,
Well,
but the violence has to stop.
Like right now. And we can have those debates later once we make it safe to walk on streets that we pay for. Brandon, Kelley, Paul, thank you both very much. That was
Thank you.
compelling. I appreciate it.